Willsie's word of advice: block 'em.
Hello everybody, welcome back. This is series 1, episode 3 of the Talking Reality podcast. I'm Nave.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are talking the reality of social media and the effects it has on people's mental health. We've got a fantastic guest today. Just like to introduce everybody to Dan Wills.
Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, lads. Absolute pleasure.
Nice to see you, brother. So,
Always.
Willsy, tell us a bit about yourself, man.
So, pretty simple. I'm Dan Williams, 27 years of age, from Chepstow. I'm a salesman, as I've been since I've left school for the past 10 years. And that's just, helping pay the bills and just letting me live the life I want to live for the time being.
Alright, so you've been a salesman ever since you left school, yeah?
Since I've left school, I've just gone straight into sales. I wanted to work, I wanted to earn money, I wanted to buy nice things, do nice things. And, without money in life, you can't do that.
Very true. Are you enjoying it?
No, I can't say I enjoy work, to be honest with you. Like being in sales, constantly target driven. The money's good to earn, but the stress it actually has on you mentally when you're just constantly dialing all day, taking objections, people telling you to, get gone and all that sort of stuff when you're just trying to make some money for yourself. It's not easy, but you've got to have quite a tough skin to be able to do the job.
So is that like a call centre environment?
Yeah, so the job I'm in now is a call centre environment. I actually sell life insurance. So people that have been online, inquired about life insurance, or maybe have just seen an advert. They've seen an advert, it's like, oh, you can get life insurance for so-and-so. But then they call up, they've had 3 heart attacks, they've got diabetes, and they think that they can have life insurance. And then when I tell them they can't, they don't like it, and they'll bite your head off, tell you you're a scam and all this and all that. So it's tough, but...
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I mean, I've worked in a call centre, but I've never worked in an environment with... I mean, is it outbound calls?
All outbound, so you just constantly dialing all day. You probably do about 4 or 5 hours talk time a day. So
pretty sure you've rang me a couple of times, actually.
you probably hung up on
I the phone, mate.
I think I had some voicemails as well.
Yeah. How long have you been doing sales in that way then? Like,
so
I've done
life insurance for a year. I lost my job previous to COVID. So I was actually like a regional sales manager for an engineering company, which is quite a chill job. So I got a set up, I had my own company car, I had my own laptop, so I was working from home, and then I was going to visit customers 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So I travelled from like anywhere between Swansea and Birmingham, just going to pick up new business for engineering firms. And I'd done that for about 2 or 3 years. I had no clue on engineering whatsoever, but I managed to just wing it and just get business.
Are you one of those fake it till you make it, you Willsy?
Well, you just gotta...
I think you have to, don't you?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I was speaking to engineers and engineering managers, do you know what I mean? And they try and test me on my engineering knowledge, and I'm not going to be like, look, I don't have a clue about engineering, but I can get the information from you, from the engineers from our company. If you've got anything that you want to ask me, I'll jot it down and I'll come back to you, and I'll either let you know on an email or I'll drop you a call with the services, in detail that we can offer.
Yeah.
Well, the fact you stuck at it for 3 years, you obviously know what you were doing, didn't you? So
they've done it right.
Yeah, man, and you've you've done well for yourself. I think, especially coming out of school and straight into a job. So did you leave straight after your GCSEs?
So I finished with GCSEs, went to sixth form for about 3 months, and I was doing 2 lessons a day trying to study business, and I was just sat there, just bored. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I want to go and earn money, so I went and done an apprenticeship, a business apprenticeship for 2 years with a steel company.
Okay.
So that was an introduction really into business and into sales. And then from that company I left, I went and done van insurance. So I done van insurance on and off for about 3-4 years, and then I moved into engineering. And then from that, I'm in the life industry. So it's not something I'm going to stick at. But it was just popped up, pays the bills, pays good money.
So money driven then, would you say?
Yeah, you have to be money driven to be in a sales job,
So you're 27 now, yeah?
27 now, yeah.
So you've had about 10 years experience?
10 years of working, mate, yeah.
That's a long time, man.
A lot of ultra successful people I listen to, they tell me if you can nail sales, right? If you can nail sales, then you can be ultra successful, because sales is one of the biggest parts of life. Almost any business, every business results around some form of selling
100%.
something or some form of sales.
Yeah.
So you got to focus on that. That's a big positive, man. You've got going forward in life.
Yeah, of
big
course.
positive, and hats off to you, man.
With that experience, you kind of use that as your training ground, right? Because you have different customers, different people you've got to speak to.
Yeah, so...
And you spoke to people from different walks of
I
life,
spoke
different
to
backgrounds.
people from different businesses, different walks of life. So I've pitched directors of companies. I spoke to a bloke that's got no money. Spoke to someone that's got a lot of money. You speak. You can. it's listening and talking at the same time. So you've got to be good at both. You know, you can't be a good salesman if you're not going to listen to what someone's got to say. So you've got to take on board everything they're saying to you to then relate that back to them so it's professionally delivered. You know, you can't sort of not listen to what someone's going to say, because if you don't listen to what they say and you don't relay the information back that they're giving you, you've lost it there and then.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, what have you kind of learnt in your time doing sales? What you got any like? You got any little? I don't know,
tips. You've got to be focused to go into the job. Like you have to, like for me to focus. Like I go to the gym in the morning before I start work, because that's the best way for me to start my day. So I get up in the morning. I don't want to get out of bed, but I get up. I go to the gym. By the time I finish my gym session, I'm in work. I'm flying already. You know, people are just rolling in, having a coffee, half asleep. I'm ready to go. 9 a.m. comes, I'm hitting the phones hard. You know.
So where is it you work?
Bristol, Bradley Stoke.
So would you say you're the wolf at Bradley Stoke?
To be honest with you, I've been the wolf. 1 month I was the wolf, but I've took a step back from it. I was working a lot of hours, just focusing solely on money. All I wanted to do was just earn money, but it just mentally burnt me out. I was working 9 till 7, 9 till 8 some days, working Saturdays, just getting loads of money. But then like after like a month of doing it, like completely doing it, having like just Sundays off.
Yeah.
Like I had like no life really. Do you know what I mean? Like my brain just burnt. Like literally, I actually took time off work with stress. Like I had to just get away from it for a bit, because that's all I was focusing on, was just earning money.
I'm guessing that was partly scripted as well then.
Yeah, the job's scripted, so you stick to a process. You're like a robot.
Yeah.
Like every single call is literally exactly the same, but you build, you know, relationships with people on the phone. You know, you speak to somebody about their life, and then it just dissolves. Because you talk about life insurance, people are talking to you about the kids they've got, or someone that's died, or illnesses they've got. So you've got to be quite sympathetic at the same time.
Yeah, of course, man.
You know, because it's quite a touching policy to sell life insurance.
I can only imagine.
Difficult conversation.
Yeah, a lot of difficult. You speak to someone that's dying of cancer sometimes. You know, so like when that hits home, you're like, you know, like you think you're having a bad day sometimes if you're not selling, and then someone comes on who's just lost their mum and they've got cancer, and you're thinking, you know, there's a lot of people struggling out there, and like it puts it into perspective that I'm living a good life, I'm healthy, you know, touch wood. My family are the same as well, so far so good, but there's always dark times ahead, man. Unfortunately, you just gotta cope it the right way.
Yeah, no one's immune to that.
No, everyone's gonna get them.
Just gotta be reactive, man, and you know, expect things to come. Yeah. I think one thing you've said, obviously, like sales, you know, you've developed a lot of skills, but you haven't necessarily enjoyed it. And obviously, today we want to talk about social media. Have you felt like social media has played any role in terms of, well, in a professional sense? Does it help? You know, does it help you build any kind of contacts? Does it help you build any sort of leads? Is it been a positive thing in your role?
Yeah, it's been a big positive success in my role. To be fair, like I put on my social media that I sell life insurance. People will contact me because they know what sell life insurance. Someone picks up a mortgage, they need life insurance. Someone's got kids, they should have life insurance. But anything happens to them when they've got 2 young kids, and if they pass away, their kids have got nothing. They might only have one single parent, you know. If she passes away, those 2 kids have got no money, they've got no finance behind them, they're probably going to go into a home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sit with family, but then the family will need the back in. So like social media has built up a sales background, but at the same time it's put different chapters of my life. So like I got approached for like a TV show.
Okay.
I went on a TV show last year actually in lockdown. Some woman just messaged me on Instagram and she was like, are you single and looking to date? And I was like, yeah, why not? You know, like, so there was like a cooking TV show. I mean, to be fair, the show itself wasn't great. It was actually called Love Bites on ITV2. I had to cook food, and to be fair,
I thought you did all right in the circumstances.
I wasn't.
Yeah. You had some.
To be fair, they said to me, right, so you can come on the show. There'll be 3 girls that cook for you, and you basically are blind dated. So you don't see the girls, but you choose the girl on her food. So if she cooks good food, you'd be like, okay, yeah, tick a box there. She might be for me and all this and all that. But then they phoned then a week to go, and they was like, oh, Dan, can you come and film next week? I was like, yeah, of course. And they was like, you've got to be the cook. And I was thinking, oh, no. Like, I haven't been the best of cooks, to be fair, but my cooking is gained since being
I can imagine, mate.
a bit embarrassed on TV. I flopped on a burger, didn't I?
Yeah,
You see the burger?
I did see the burger, mate. I mean,
Yeah, it was raw, man.
I've seen better cooking on TV.
Yeah.
And that was a kids' cooking show.
Yeah,
as well,
but that led from that, and then I was obviously in the industry a bit then, and then someone else messaged me. I've just come back from a TV show that I've been filming in abroad. So I had like 2 weeks out of a nice country, and that was just like probably one of the best times of my life. You know, it's actually coming out next year, so that could be something that could change my life. You don't know, but without social media, without having that contact,
Never would have
never had
So
the
that initial show with the cooking show,
Yeah.
off the back of that, you got something
To
else.
be fair, the woman that actually recruited me for this show, she said she recruited me from me tagging myself in a post in South Wales.
Oh,
So
wow,
basically,
okay.
like, they must have like searched different parts of the country
Yeah.
to try and get different candidates onto the show. And she said that she picked me up from a post, and like, you know, without me posting in a certain place in South Wales, I wouldn't have got on there and had that experience that I've had. So like, I'm grateful for that at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think you've hit the nail on the head there about how positive social media can be. Like, it's given you two massive opportunities,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
It's given you good exposure. And I know obviously you said you've got the show coming out next year, which I know you can't talk about in great detail, but we wish you the best of luck with that, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure
thank
it's
you.
going to be a big success for you. But yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, man. Like, that's had, like, social media, I know it gets mixed reviews from everybody, but it can be really, really positive.
100%.
Like,
You
your
think-
your experience is incredible in that respect.
Yeah, yeah.
If you think about it, like, we all live in a small town in South Wales. How would you get that exposure without having that platform? Like, people wouldn't really come to you, would they? Because
No.
they wouldn't know you exist.
No, I mean, unless you're like, you start up a business and your business expands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you do something on TikTok or you do something on Instagram which
Yeah.
goes viral, it could be anything, like a silly, funny video.
But that's what I'm
and you can
saying.
just blow it from that. But I feel like a bellend if I was going to like try and record myself doing something funny. I'm like, can't post this, can't
Yeah.
post this. Like these 10 people in Chepstow might think I'm a, you know, but I don't care.
The reality is, mate,
Like-
that doesn't matter. And, you know, we obviously spoke a bit beforehand, didn't we, about, and I know that something I've always thought is if someone achieves success, and like, I'm confident you're going to achieve success, man, because you've got a lot going for you, and you just,
I think
yeah,
so.
you
I
are.
think
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do, yeah.
You're destined for good things, man. But I think, I said to you, didn't I, one of the difficulties with coming from a small town, and like, especially over social media, you get a lot of jealousy, man, don't you? And you get a lot, I think, if you're going to achieve some form of success, there does come jealousy with that, don't there? And I think that's something you've got to bear in mind, isn't it, when you move forward?
Yeah, but like I say, we live in a small town, and for me, the small town mentality's gone. You know, like you overcome this place and you realise what you're living in is just a little pebble. You know,
Yeah.
like
There's a big world out there, man.
there's a massive, massive world out there, and all I want to do is just go and experience this world. You know, when I went into
Yeah.
the show and I met different people from different parts of the UK,
Yeah.
you know, you're talking like South London and stuff, and they live a complete different lifestyle to us. Like, you can't go to a certain chicken shop in South London. You know, like if you're from the wrong ends and you're going into a chicken shop, like it's a bit dodgy. You know, like we'll feel comfortable walking over to what is it over there?
Oh, yes, pizza.
Oh yes, pizza, and you know.
Shout out, oh yes.
So, I mean, yeah, we've kind of like talked a bit about it. That's had a positive effect on you. I mean, social media for me, I think, I kind of asked you before, but I think it's one of those things you have to have a positive relationship with. You have to have a conscious thought process in terms of how you interact with it, I think.
Definitely.
And I know you spoke earlier a little bit about the things you follow or the people you follow. That's important. Like, do you want to expand a little bit, you know, about what you were saying on that?
Yeah, so like there's been times in the past where I've like been down, you know, I've not been happy with the way I'm living, I don't feel happy about myself, and I just think, I'm laying in bed on a Monday morning and I'm thinking like, do I get out of bed, do I get out of bed? I think, go on my phone, go on Instagram. The first thing you see just might be some lad, you know, living the dream in LA. He's on a boat, he's chilling, he's got a couple of girls around him, he's living his best life, smiling at a camera. And I'm thinking like, what can I do to try and live my best life? Do you know what I mean? And try and go and live a life like that.
Yeah.
Like, is me getting out of bed now and going to do a 9 to 5 in a call centre really going to achieve that? You know, that's all that goes on in my mind sometimes. Or you're like looking for a girlfriend or whatever, you're looking to try and speak to a girl, but you're not going to really like look at a girl around here because like you've got all the options on social media. You know, like you've got millions of subscribers on Instagram. You know, like there's so many options out here in the world for everyone, which is not a good thing for a lot of people. But for my mind, like I always want something like I want the best. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not just going to settle for like something just because I want someone. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to find that person that I have that click with, but at the same time I need to be like highly attracted to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like there's so many, I've met and dated like a lot of girls and I've just been like, yeah, people will find you attractive and all this and all that, but like it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? So like you go on social media and there's just so many.
Kind of like a conveyor belt, right?
Yeah, it's constantly going around.
And you think about like the success of dating apps like Tinder, how much has that like blown up over the last like 10 years? And it's just a catalogue of people, and just a conveyor belt, and it's easy to jump on that, and then you get with one girl, and then you're looking for the next thing, and it just ongoing cycle.
Do you think it does, to some extent, create a bit of FOMO? You get the fear of missing out, like when you could be stuck with someone, and then if someone could be in a happy relationship, and then you might see, I don't know, you might see some girl that you were in school with or whatever who's gone and, I don't know, let's say they've gone away to London, they're living a really successful life, and then you look and you think, oh, do you know what, maybe you had a bit of a thing with her in school or whatever, right? And then social media is showing you that person's life, or the best parts of that person's life.
Yeah, the best parts of that life.
Yeah, and then you sit there and think, oh, do you know what, I'm actually not that happy in my relationship. Do you think it creates that a little bit?
I mean, to be fair, I don't get into a relationship unless I am completely 100% happy. Like, if I'm in a relationship with a girl, I'm not really going to look anywhere else.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because I'm just not going to settle with something just to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'd rather be single and be unhappy than be in a relationship and be unhappy, because you're causing drama for you and the girl that, she might like you a lot more than what I liked her.
That's a very mature perspective, man. From my perspective, I just think that social media can have a massive impact on relationships, and then in turn has a massive impact on people's mental health.
I mean, mental health. If you're in a relationship with a girl, and this is many years ago when I was dating a girl my first time, and say I liked a girl's photo that I went to school with, that would cause an argument.
World War III.
And I'm like, I knew that girl. She was in my class at school. Doesn't mean that I'm going to go in her DMs and try and hit her up. I just liked the photo. She might be at a beach with a dog. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, we do like a photo. I'm like, what's your problem? I'm with you. Why are you worried about me liking a friend's photo that's a girl?
It's kind of like dangling carrots in someone's face, isn't it? It's like temptation. That's what it provides. It facilitates temptation. If you're in a long-term relationship, I had the same thing when I was in a long-term relationship. Liking photos of just female friends that I know aren't going through a good time. That little like you've gave them might just boost them up a bit. That was my perspective, but from my ex-partners it wasn't. It was like, you must fancy her, you must do this, you must.
That's the way it is.
But I think Instagram did remove that feature, didn't they? Where you could go back in and see who, I could look on your profile and see who you've liked.
They removed that.
Yeah, because and perhaps that was because it was causing so much conflict.
And Snapchat top 3. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That went off.
Yeah.
That was.
But those things, surely whoever's designed that must think this will cause some conflict. Because why else would you do it?
Can I say one thing though that you said in there that I think is one of the biggest problems with social media, right? And I get that your intentions were good. You said you'd send a like out to someone and give someone a boost when they're feeling down or low, right? But I think one of the biggest problems with likes is that instant gratification, that instant hit of dopamine.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And I get your intentions were good and pure, and it's a good thing you were trying to help someone out. But I think when someone's in a low position, I think the best thing for you, if you're struggling in life, is to get rid of social media. Because
100%.
I think that you can spend hours of your day looking at the best parts of people's lives,
the best angles
of people's lives, the best filtered pictures of people's lives, and if you're in a low position in life, you're struggling with anxiety, depression, whatever. Let's say something really negative, you've had a really bad breakup, whatever it is. Looking at other people's lives and getting these short, fast hits of dopamine constantly by posting new pictures, posting new videos, whatever you're posting, is not going to help you. Especially in the long term, it's not.
I've been down before, and I've tried to post just to get attention.
You do,
you know what I mean? You post just hoping some girl is gonna come and like your photo, and then try and build something. But it doesn't happen.
I think Wills is onto something there. If you're feeling down, right, and you've put up a picture. So you've delivered
and you
your post,
don't get the attention that you want. It makes it worse.
Yeah, put
your
deeper in the hole.
Word. There's a word for it. I can't think of the word. You guys know the word.
Yeah.
I don't know the word.
I guess I can give a different perspective as well of why social media can cause you really negative can have a very negative reaction on you.
Okay.
So when I had a really bad breakup a few years ago, I spent a lot of my time looking at my ex's social media because I was in that dark place.
Yeah,
and just kind of, I was like, I wanted to know what she was doing, and you know, that's a big no.
What's the word, man? I'm thinking of this word.
I don't know.
I get where you're coming from. It's
Yeah,
when I split with my ex, and I was cool until you see him with like another guy, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, and then but the unhealthy thing was me spending all that time looking at her social media, and
Rossie's word of advice: block them.
Yeah.
Because then you can't go and look at it.
True.
Well, if you've got something in your head.
No. The thing is, you can block them, yeah. But for me, I knew that what I decided to do. I mean, I had a really. It did kind of get worse and worse and worse, and my mental health went badly downhill. But I took 6 months off social media, and it really helped me build myself back up. But the thing is, when you're in that dark place, you don't necessarily think rationally. You don't like if you're thinking rationally right now, and we're sitting talking about it. Yeah, you think you're
not in the mindset.
Yeah, you're not in that mindset at that moment. You're like you've just broken up. You're a bit headshot.
But you're still emotionally invested, aren't you?
Yeah, you
That's
are.
the problem.
You are. And then the thing is, if someone else has fallen out of love with you, and that's fine, that's acceptable. Like that's okay, right? Then you kind of just have to let that person. You know, it's hard, but you have to let that person go.
Yeah.
And I think I wasn't ready to do that. And you go back 20, 30 years ago, this wouldn't have happened.
No.
If you had a breakup, you weren't watching that person go off on holiday or go off and, you know, they're out on dates or something, they might be on dates with somebody, whatever. You would never have had to watch that.
It's kind of like a constant stimulus, isn't it? Which is then sparking those like old emotions.
Yeah, and
I talk a lot about how you have to have a good relationship with social media. I think, for example, when I'm studying, right, I try to I put my phone on airplane mode, right, and that's it. So I know I'm getting no notifications, I'm not getting distracted, because it can just steal your time.
it's like even trying to watch a decent series at home, and like you can actually like completely mess up the series by laying in bed on your phone, just scrolling. And like you're not focusing on a good TV show, but you've actually just laid there in bed, just scrolling. Do you know what I mean? Like, so now if I'm gonna try and watch TV, I'll just put the phone away so I can focus on it, because it's so easy just for a little notification just to spiral you to just sit on your phone, sit on there for time on end, and then you've just completely lost focus on what you're watching. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get to episode 3, like what the hell's happened here?
Yeah, you've missed out for Squid Game, but you've managed to go through that.
That, for the way, is unbelievable. Episode 6 on Squid Game goes off.
I see a lot of people that go to a rave, and you can watch half the rave on their phone, and you're just there.
Yeah, they're
and let's be honest,
CCTV
no one's sitting there for the 15-second intervals on someone's Instagram watching them. We're all firing through it, aren't we? We're not sitting there watching it because
it's kind of mad, isn't it? The fact that they will. I know the ones you're on about. It's like you go on Snapchat and it's like little dots, like dot, like the whole. The story's just so long, and you're like, well, I ain't watching that. I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes to go through all
but
that.
people.
I'm probably a culprit of that, guys. So cheers for that.
Yeah, sorry, mate. You are one of those.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
No judgment. No judgment.
No judgment. Yeah.
But I think that's again one bad thing of social media. It has brought people tend to not enjoy the moment. We don't enjoy the moment anymore. And do you know what? It can be a good thing and a bad thing, because let's say for example you're someone who's got bad memory or whatever, or maybe you're elderly and
I've got bad memory. Bro.
You've got a bad memory.
I've got bad
you
memory.
have got a bad memory. We're lucky we got you to show up today, to be honest.
Yeah.
But and let's say you just want to take pictures to remember things, or videos to remember things. It can be a really, sometimes you can go on your social media and it could be like you look back and it's got really nice memories.
I like that.
And you look back and you can see where you were 5 years ago today.
You are right. It's good to be able to look back, but at the same time, if you were going through a negative experience,
There you go.
Again, spark that fire.
That's why I do reiterate. I think if you are having a difficult time in life, I really think a break of social media is a good thing.
I've done it so many times. So many times.
It's like a
I've had a
detox.
break for a day and gone back on it. But, like,
Yeah,
I've probably done a week maybe, probably my maximum, just to sort of like...
You do rebound a lot, mate.
That's if I like go out and I've had like a heavy weekend and it's like Monday morning and I'm just like, oh my God, like where's my head at? And I'm just looking at everyone else living like the dream, or footballers just getting a massage and thinking, I just want to be that person. Do you know what I mean? And like, you can't be, you've got to live your own life, man. You've got to make it what it is.
And the other thing, Dan, is if you're not doing what you really like to do, okay, so like you said, you do sales, you're good at it, you make a lot of money, but perhaps you want to do more TV work, then when you're looking at those guys that are getting those jobs, getting those roles, and getting a massage, whatever, it's got to be eroding your mental health.
Yeah, it does, 100%. And there's no denying that. Like, social media does cause a lot of mental health issues, but at the same time, it's a positive as well. But
do you think I think it's going to be a hard question to answer, but do you think social media does more good than it does bad?
I'm going to say it does good, just because I've had a bit of a good experience right now. That's why I'm going to say it's done good. And it does inspire a lot of youngsters to try and be something that they would have never seen before. You know,
I would agree with that.
Nowadays you've got influencers, right? So influencers, they got followers on Instagram, they make money off it, they'll make money off clothing, they'll make money off selling whatever because they've got a following, right? If you're a young girl and you think, what am I doing with my life? And they see, you know, Pretty Little Thing or teeth whitening or loads of stuff, they think, you know what, why can't I try and be like that or get like that? But you need to gain the following base to be able to do that. And like without maybe, I don't know, big TV shows or like going viral on like a TikTok or an Instagram post, how are they ever going to get there? So for them, that's mentally destroying. Do you know what I mean? Same as lads with like gym stuff. How many people, like gym on Instagram is absolutely massive. Do you know what I mean? Like through like lockdown and stuff where you had a lot of guys posting home workouts, doing all that stuff that was helping people mentally at the same time. But there's also that side of it where some guys shredded to the bone. Do you know what I mean? Looks insane. And I'm sat there nailing the Ben and Jerry's thinking, I'd love to be like that, but do I have it in me? Or is it worth me actually going through eating?
In reality, you're not going to put that
No, I'm not going to do it. No.
You're not going to put that.
Because that's me. Like, I'll quite happily eat junk food and train and look alright, other than go and like dedicate my life to being an absolute beast in the gym.
Yeah.
There's more to my life than doing that, but fair play to anybody that does do it because it's hard work and dedication, big time.
I would agree with the positive that you've just pointed out there, that it gives you a platform, right? So you can get exposure, because if you live in a small town like us and you want to be, let's say, like a model, you'd have to move to London. If you've got social media, you might not have to make that move first because you can get in contact with brands because they know where you are because you've built a following, right? But if social media didn't exist, they wouldn't know. You could be the best looking person in the world, but if you're in a small town, who's going to discover you here?
No one.
Yeah. So you'd have to move almost instantly if that was your career.
Yeah.
But if you have a platform and you've built up a following, like you said, you can then get in contact, and then people will want you, and you can get to London and get those like shoots, whatever you're going to be doing with modelling. But also, like you said, the negative side. If you have these guys in the gym, they got this fitness pages. I mean, it's absolutely saturated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now with like fitness pages.
People making lots of money.
And there's a point like.
Are they though?
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
I think some of them are.
But the bigger guys.
Yes.
The bigger guys.
Yes,
got
but
followers.
I think that, again, there's that presents a problem itself because. Yeah, a lot of people are making money, I agree, but I also think there's a lot of people that try and show they're making a lot of money, but they're actually probably not.
So they're like,
in reality.
That's the same as anything.
Of course, but social media heightens that, that need to kind of show something, show a fake reality.
Like someone will go and like rent a car for 3 years on a lease.
Exactly.
Well,
Rent the car. Can't even
like,
pay your car, mate. But you post it on your Instagram like it's yours. Ain't yours, just renting it.
I had a PT session this morning, and I was having a conversation with one of my clients, and we were talking a bit about social media. I told him I was doing this podcast this evening, and I kind of just asked their opinion on some things, and they said to me, one of the people, one of my clients, she does not have social media at all. She's deleted all social media. She did it quite a few years ago, and she said that she's felt considerably better than she did. She struggled quite a lot with her mental health. And she's felt a lot better after having got rid of it. And I said, we're all individuals, so it's different, and I can appreciate that, it can have a very positive effect not being in your life. I think one of the problems with influencers, right? I don't have a problem with influencers per se. However, I think it has, to some extent, it's created an environment where people will almost do anything to be famous. They'll do anything to build a following. They'll do anything to get rich. They'll do anything. And they'll almost lose their identity. They'll lose their truth. Yeah. They'll do absolutely anything, right, just to build up a following on social media. And that's why because sometimes then people will achieve fame or a level of fame, and I think find out that it doesn't actually carry a purpose. It doesn't carry a value unless it's something relative to you that you're good at. Do you know what I mean? I think it can create pressures.
It's like sounds quite sad, but like I'm gonna say that for me, like social media is gonna be like a platform that I'm gonna have to try and build up if I want to be and do what I want to do. I'm like,
I get that.
Like I've got no business mindset at this moment in time where like if someone's off social media and they're focusing on building their own business, if some guy's like a carpenter or he's a property developer and he's like, right, I don't need social media. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna do all of his work and gain all of his business, all of his money from performing his job to perfection. That then relays on the people recommending people. You don't need social media for that. But like from like where I'm coming from, I feel like I'm in sales, don't want to be there, don't want to work 9 till 5. Like I'd quite happily try and put my energy into potentially being like an influencer.
Listen, man, I think you've got a lot of talents, and I think you could blow up on social media. I think you will. I think you're a good looking guy. You've got a lot of positive. You've got real positive personality. You've got a lot going for you. I think you will blow up on social media.
But like to blow up on there, like I've never really posted that much. I've never tried to like actually do it. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think one thing you've got to try and not lose in that journey is yourself. Don't become something you're not. Don't become something you're not just for the sake of being famous. Because then,
well, you'll end up a puppet on strings, and the reason you'll be saying yes to being the puppet is because of the money, and that's what drives a lot of people, man. And you've got to be smart enough to know what deals and what contracts to sign and what contracts not to sign.
But social media has created that.
Yeah.
So that whole mindset of me not being happy with me working 9 till 5 in a call center has driven that mindset by social media. So I see a lot of people online that have got hundreds of thousands of followers. They're getting money for doing clothing or doing whatever they're doing. Fair play to them for doing it. But like I just think like why couldn't that be me? Like maybe one day it would be me. But like until you put yourself out there and you make yourself like like post as much as you can. But I find it cringe. Like I actually find it cringe posting pictures of me. People are like, oh, you're a good looking lad or whatever. But there's so many like gods out there in this world, do you know what I mean? But does every girl want a god? Like they probably don't.
Well,
like,
we all know the dad bod's back in, don't we? So
it is a thing, by the way. Tyson Fury actually rocks that very well.
He's
a nice way to kind of draw this podcast to an episode to a close. I think we can kind of just give from our own perspectives, like I don't know, just one helpful tip, I suppose, on how to use social media in a positive way.
Okay. Well, I think we should just try and project positive things, okay? So if, like I said, it's all down to perspective and how people view things, but if you take like a gym selfie for me, because like me and Nath are in the gym a lot, we do take the gym pictures, just try and put something to uplift people rather than it come across as, look at me, I'm shredded, yeah? So it doesn't make that guy or woman who might be insecure about their body image because they've been at the gym for a while, it doesn't make them feel bad about themselves. So try and deliver it in a way, how you execute it's important. Just deliver it in a way where I'm not saying, look at me, I'm better than you. I'm saying, look what I've achieved. I look like this maybe 12 weeks ago, whatever. Now I look like this, you can do it too.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we need to do.
Dan?
Obviously, the way that you approach social media needs to be very sensitive because a lot of people are very sensitive in life. You can say something to someone and it can hurt someone a lot and you don't think it has hurt them. But mentally, if you're not in the right frame of mind for social media, just get it gone and just get something in your life that is going to mentally prepare you, for a better future, really. Because social media can cause a lot of unhappy mindsets, So if you're feeling unhappy about seeing what you're seeing, either unfollow people that you don't want to see anymore or just even take a break from it, because taking a break can help you massively.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there. I think my biggest piece of advice for people on social media, or how you use social media and how to approach using social media, is to appreciate the fact that people show you the best things in their life. They show you the filtered meals, the filtered six-pack, the filtered holidays, right? Just appreciate that, that's good. I do the same thing. I post, I try and post nice pictures and nice videos, but just appreciate that social media is not always reality, okay? And just, I think one of the biggest thing you've said, Dan, it helped me on a personal level, is when you are struggling, take time off it. I think that's the biggest piece of advice I give to anybody, is that you take time away from it, because then you spend more time in the real world.
Yeah.
It's definitely I think
It's actually really nice.
yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of, you go on your phone and you haven't got notifications flying in, and you just kind of, you appreciate the moment.
Actually, like, delete the apps.
Yeah, delete the apps.
Delete the apps off your phone, because there's been times where I've deleted the apps and I've actually just turned on my phone and gone to press the app, just out of like just innate habit of just like sliding the phone, bang, and it's not there, and you think it's not there for a reason, put it down. Do you know what I mean? You teach yourself how to cope with that situation, and it can help people massively.
Just try and get rid of old habits.
Just get off the social media, go take a nice fresh walk in the woods. Do you know what I mean? If you put your headphones on, put your headphones on. If you want to listen to the birds tweeting, listen to the trees rustling. Like, nature helps a lot of mental health.
Yeah, big
So
time.
like getting out in the world, just going for walks, just
Liberating, man.
yeah, like
Spend time with your family, your friends, just live in the real world. Live in the real
that
world.
doesn't
Like,
really happen much anymore.
it doesn't. People spend more time in social media than they do in real life. I mean, I know people will say it is real life, but I think, you know, too much of it isn't.
Distorted reality.
For sure, man. Well, Dan, that was Series 1, Episode 3.
Dan, thanks guys.
What an
Thanks for coming.
absolute pleasure, man, to have you on, and I appreciate you coming on, bro. It's
Yeah.
it's
It's all honesty in it, and what we say.
yeah, man,
is-
and you know, you've been really honest. You talked about, like, you know, personal things, and you've got lots going on in your life, and you know, we obviously both wish you nothing but success, man, and good luck, and same to your family and everyone. It's, you
Yeah,
know,
same
it's
goes.
been
I think you'll go far, man.
I do as well.
Fingers crossed. Well, no fingers crossed. It's going in.
It's going in. There we go.
in,
Let's
yeah.
get rid of that whole no doubt, man. So, everybody, I thank all our watchers and listeners for tuning in. We'll look forward to Series 1, Episode 4, which is coming soon. So like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.
Yes, guys.